I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Hello and welcome. Good evening, everyone. This is Mikey of Mikey Sue's 4, along with my beautiful wife Suzanne and the two meow meow beautiful cats, Deja Vu and Moon Pie. I want to welcome all of you to our celebration of Canadian Family Day. This is one of the few, as I mentioned previously, holiday live streams I like to do for special occasions. I will mention something that will come up very soon in March next month. But in the meantime, I want to welcome to the right of me over here is my brother PvP from British Columbia. How you doing, Mr. PvP?
Not bad. Just give me a second. I just had to mute. Larry's stream started, and I just had to mute that because I had it on YouTube, so it's all good now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will mention that.
Yeah. I didn't actually start the day off too well today because I woke up and I had this funny feeling in my mouth, and I realized that I'd lost half a tooth in my sleep.
Oh, wow.
So I've got half a tooth sitting on my desk here. Thank goodness I didn't swallow it because that could have been uncomfortable, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Or choke on it or inhale it or something.
Oh, thank God. Well, I was eating something. I don't want to get too gross here, but I cracked something back here too and cracked it like in half. Thing fell right out. I was like, I'm chomping on something. Oh, wait, that's not food.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Well, at my age, I've had that experience a few times, right? Because I quite frankly, I got a couple of teeth that aren't so great. Like they don't give me any pain or anything. Like I can function.
Oh, Novocaine. No.
I had a root canal 10 years ago because I never experienced pain to that degree in my entire life. It was excruciating. I was in agony for about a week because the doctor wouldn't even touch the tooth until he put me on antibiotics for 7 days, right? He wouldn't even touch it, get close to it because it was so badly infected. And I guess, to be safe, right? So he did the right thing, obviously, but
sure.
After a week of suffering, 4.5 hours in the dentist chair.
Wow.
Not a whole lot of laughs, I'll tell you.
Not a lot of fun. And I want to welcome right below me there, Mr. Curtis Selby, our tired midnight blogger. How are you, brother Curtis?
I am well. I've had a day off and kind of been floating around YouTube and taking care of minor chores. But I do want to break. I want to break your rule about politics to say one thing.
Okay,
Mikey for Prime Minister.
Woo! Yay!
Okay, there. I'm done now.
There you go.
Quickly,
that's perfect.
I'll make one comment too to follow up on what Curtis just said.
Yeah.
Mikey would be 100% better choice than the clown they're trying to put in as Mark Carney now. That clown. Mikey would be a better prime minister, seriously. Because at least he would do, very little damage, I think, right?
No, I wouldn't do any damage, hardly.
Carney's going to finish us. If he gets in, I mean, I can't see people actually voting for him, but it's still scary that a guy that never got elected to nothing, not even like a dog catcher, is going to be our next prime minister because they'll just give him a coronation, the Liberal Party, it seems, right? Anyway, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have got political.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
I did it.
Let's welcome directly diagonally from me, Miss Moira Kitty. Meow meow.
Meow meow.
And how are you feeling, Moira? How's everything with you and Chris?
It's all right.
And the cats? How are the cats doing?
The cats are fluffy and adorable.
They're doing their own thing, right? That's what cats do. And we had first in the box, Miss Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf. She said have a good stream earlier. I saw her message. I asked if she'd be joining, and I said we'd love to see you. And here is Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. Hey, how you doing there, Gorilla? Yeah. No, so let me mention this real quick. So here I just found out from PvP and some of our friends here that my brother Larry of Be Yourself Adventures is doing a President's Day stream around the same time, right about when I'm doing this. Now, to be honest, I never knew that he was going to do a stream tonight for President's Day, and I knew that he also had some appointments earlier in the day, so he was really busy, and I didn't know what was going on. So please, I'm going to say this as being a friend to him, a friend to everybody else. If you do want to join his President's Day stream, by all means go, because he's going to be talking a lot more politics than me. I am not going to be talking about politics at all if I can help it. I want to celebrate our family, and we have a community family here in YouTube and in Facebook that we care about, we love, and support with all of our being, and that's what I want to talk about. I want some of the panelists here to take over and tell us about their family members, how they feel about them. Do they miss them? Do they want to see them more? That's what I want to know, because for me, it boils down. I'll just say, and then I will let ladies go first. Moira, what it boils down to me is that all my family is in the States. Like everybody I know, my cousins, nieces, nephews, what have you. They're all there. My beautiful wife is my family here. She'll always be my family, obviously. My cats, they are our daughters. They're fur babies. We love them. They'll always be with us. She knows one friend. His name is Scott. He doesn't go by Scotty. He likes to go by Scott. But anyway, he's just a friend, but he's also considered extended family because he's been the only person that's been for Suzanne before she met me. So, so he's a special person in our lives. But as far as that goes, I just want to hear from our panelists. Hopefully, we'll have a number of people come up tonight and to express how much they love their family, and that's what it's all about. That's why it's Canadian Family Day. It's all about family. And I dedicate this. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One last thing I was going to say was I dedicate this stream to a dear friend who passed around this time. Her name is Joni Sledge, and she was part of Sister Sledge. And she was a very good friend. She became an extended family member when I was still living back in Scottsdale. And unfortunately, she passed away in her sleep. But that's how I want to go.
Well, not the worst way to go, really.
not the worst way to go. And to benefit Joni, her son Thaddeus is on tour with Sister Sledge in Europe right now. So they are touring together, and Thaddeus is doing his mom's part, and he's just great at it. I gotta say, I mean, Thaddeus Sledge is by far one of the best soul singers, R&B. Anything you could ever get, and I was blessed to sing with him. So I got to tell you, I know my singers, I know my musicians. These guys are fantastic. His family was there doing a tribute to Joni. I'll just say this one last part. They did a tribute to Joni in the favorite bar that I used to hang out with, and myself, this guy named Adam, and Thaddeus, and one other gentleman who we know really well. The four of us did We Are a Family for his cousins. Thaddeus' cousins, family, everybody that was there in tribute to Joni, and I had a stand-up of applause for like 15 minutes.
Wow!
Always. I mean, it was the most wonderful night of my life. I will never forget it because it was just,
I thought the most wonderful night was when you sang with Little River Band, though.
Well, Little River Band comes really close. I got to sing the second set with them. I'm just being a jerk. No, you're not. Stop. Anyway, let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, Curtis, we'll start with Moira. Moira, you consider? I know that you consider Chris as being your partner and everything. Would you consider like his family being part of your family, vice versa, and your family as well?
Well, I don't have much family left. But Deidre sees him as another dad, and my mom and dad are gone. I have a first cousin still alive, about probably 10 miles away, but I haven't seen him in years. Cousins that live in Arizona, but I haven't spoken to them.
What part of Arizona do they live in? If you want to say, if you don't want to say,
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
That's all right.
Have to look it up. If I can even find one of Mom's old envelopes that might have their address, but
right.
But Chris's family's nice, but I don't feel close to them. I don't generally feel close to many people in general. They're nice, and I have no problem. I think they're very nice, but I don't feel a kinship with them though.
Right, but you do feel a closeness because you said you've been with Chris for 9 years, right?
Yes. Yeah. Because I can talk about any kind of crazy ass shit that would probably get me kicked off TikTok. I
don't want to be this
right. Well, I was making Pelican Brief jokes earlier. But and he's like, I don't blame you, honey. If he ever did, they'd have it coming. And he's just so supportive like that. I'm like, what if I go to jail? He's like, I'll visit you all the time. Oh, thank you, sweetie. And then goes about playing with his computer and doing his programming stuff.
And hello, Chris. By the way, hello, Chris.
Mikey says hi, Chris.
Suzanne's saying hello to you.
Hi, Mikey.
And the babies. Yeah.
My baby or the kitten, the kitty cats. Full breed.
Well, all of
them. Okay.
Yeah.
I think my kitten is played possibly league as far as I know of. I don't know.
Yeah.
She managed to finagle herself a sweet deal, and one of her electives for school is esports.
Oh, nice.
She's like, I believe my computer's acting slow. I'm carrying this whole team right now. And I'm like, yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah. That's
a little savage, and I love it.
Yeah. I just want to quickly mention that, we're in the same situation sort of here. Suzanne and, I won't say, but one of my sisters doesn't really like her. But, because you know what, who gives a shit? I don't really mind, because Suzanne, like I said, she's a universal life minister. She's very calm, very collected. She still says to my mother, that she loves my sister that hates her. And, because my mother got this weird idea that, you hate her or whatever. No, that was never, ever said. Suzanne never said that. So,
right, we're women. We don't have to say it. We can look at each other and we fucking know it. To be fair.
Well, when you look at Chris and Chris looks back at you and you got that love bond, that connection. Yeah. And then you got the cats that are with you. And the cats are great support. I know our girls are like, if we didn't have them, she and I'd be going in an insane asylum. We'd be going nuts. So
I love it.
Yeah, cats are your best friend. They truly are. Sorry if I offended anybody who loves dogs, but I'm telling you, cats can be your best friends.
And
they
cats
really
are a funny thing because, as far as I know, they're the only animal that domesticated themselves.
Yes.
Like dogs, wolves, cattle, horses, they all had to be domesticated by people. Cats chose to. They're like, you know what? This looks like a cushy life. I'm down with it. Like,
sure.
And that's and apparently they make their meow sound like a child, so you will acknowledge that. That's impressive. That's an interesting trait there.
Yeah. So let's go to Curtis here. So Brother Curtis, what was your now do you still have some relatives still living? And if so, are there anyone that stand out to you that you love a lot and that you get along with a lot?
Oh, I killed all of them and left them in the basement years ago. No.
Straight up savage. God almighty.
So you trashed them like Charlotte the Werewolf would?
No. I had a very interesting family situation, and it's one of those stories that would either make a Monday night after school special or just make you want to jump off a bridge, one of the two. What? But Dad's still alive. We've never really been close, but he's alive. Thanks, he has dementia though. And so he only remembers Mom. Mom was freaking crazy. I believe,
I hear that.
I'll never be able to prove it, but I believe she was an undiagnosed autistic. which my son's autistic, so it's okay, but they didn't know anything about it back then. So she was not, basically she would have been okay if she'd have had, modern medicines and modern treatments, but she had none of that. So
I don't think she'd want those meds back then. Probably give her mercury or
probably
something.
not. But the long and the short of it is she's not high enough functioning that she should ever have been a mother. I'm just saying. But she was. And so, until I was not ever able to forgive her until I figured out, she's autistic like my son is. And my son would be in the same boat that she was if I don't take care of things.
Autistic children are a special kind of person.
They really are. And they're great. They're cool, but you have to
wonderful.
You have to know what's going on. You just have to know that.
I wouldn't be surprised if my mom had some heavy metal poisoning or something. Like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be mean, but like,
no, I don't doubt that at all.
Back in the day, everything was made out of fucking lead and mercury.
Exactly.
My mom was born in 1940, and her mom was born in 1901. So like, they're probably swimming in the fucking arsenic and shit.
Oh yeah. Let's put it in our food. Yeah.
They probably got hit with some of that DDT and shit. Like, damn.
But they did used to have lead pipes in the drinking water system.
They did.
Right?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I think they started switching over to stuff like copper or less, toxic stuff. I think
is less toxic. I know because I lived in Arizona for all those years.
I think it came in right around the time I was born or something, right? So I probably escaped.
This last Moira. She'll be
right, Maria. She'll come back.
Meow meow.
Anyway, on the other side, though, my sister and I were always very close. She's a really wonderful woman. She has somehow managed to. First, she married the best man I ever knew at the time, who later got cancer and passed away. And then when she remarried, she did it again. She found another great, wonderful man who I don't know, I really don't know which one would be better, but they were both amazing. One is still alive, the other one's not. So I'm close to them. They're wonderful people. They've got me through some really difficult times. And so I've got them. And then, of course, there's Cassie.
Cassie, you're one and only.
Cassie, are you awake? Do you want a treat? I don't think she's awake. I think I took her to the vet today, and I think she's crashed.
Oh, maybe she's rejecting you too for a few moments.
Oh, probably. She's like, why did you let them give me a shot?
Why'd you let me out of my comfort zone? Our cats have already done that a couple times, and they get freaked out. Well, I told you guys real quickly, when we had the people come in here, and the guy didn't do shit. I mean, he came in here, said he sprayed for bed bugs and crap. He didn't do it. He was in there for 10 minutes going, all around. He told us we had to wait 4 hours for us before we could come back in, but with cats included. He drops a bomb on me, which I had no idea. She and I, Suzanne and I, we had no idea. And they said to us 6 hours. I said, F you. Yeah, screw that. There is no freaking way.
By the way, Mikey, how are the bed bugs doing?
Well, they're not around as much.
Not as
they're
much.
Still attacking. They still have a nest.
Yeah. You can't spray them out of existence. The little buggers. No. I mean, I've never had them. Thank you, heaven. I've never had to deal with them. I did have cockroaches once in an apartment when I was a student at college, and that wasn't fun. But the only way you can really kill off an infestation of bed bugs, from what I've ever read, is you have to put high heat in the apartment for like a day or 2 days.
Exactly.
And that's the only thing that will eradicate them. So
eradicate them. Yes.
I think the people running your building are they're they're screwing you over, basically, Mikey. I hate to say that. But, I know you live in low rent. I know, but that's subsidized housing, I guess, right? Sometimes you compromise, and that's one of the compromises. But that's why I pay the rent I pay.
Well, there
because I don't have to worry about bed bugs. Thank goodness.
Right. Well, we have I call it the ABCs of pests, and then of course we have mice. But to be fair, the mice are not overrunning this apartment because we have two beautiful cats that are huntresses, and they go after them and snap their necks. Even one of them, Deja Vu, took the head off of one and was sharing the blood with Moon Pie.
Oh my!
Split it in half. Just
yikes! Yeah. Well, they might be domesticated, but they still have those killer instincts, don't they?
Mm-hmm. So, absolutely. I wouldn't want one of them to come up to me and flash my throat at night.
Yeah, but you're not the size of a mouse, so you don't have to worry. But I just want to, since you're talking about mice, I have a mouse story. When I was a little kid, that would be the second home, because I know one home I was brought from the hospital and lived there until I was like 3 or 4. Then moved to another house that my parents, I guess they bought that house and they lived there. We lived there for probably maybe 10 years, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, we had a mouse. And we called him Mickey. And little Mickey would run around and freak us out because you know how mice are. You're not expecting it. All of a sudden, boing, they jump out of nowhere and start running all over the place. And it's like, and he used to love to run across the fireplace mantle. I have no idea why, but that was his great joy in his existence, was running across the top of the fireplace. And little Mickey, unfortunately, had a bad ending because my parents got tired of him and they put traps out, and little Mickey got his little head crushed in one day. So,
oh, ouch!
There's the end of little Mickey.
Yeah.
But I tell you, every time I think of Disney now, I think that's what needs to happen to Disney.
Eradicate.
Yes.
Exterminate.
Oh man.
I did.
I never get to tell my Mickey Mouse story, so that's kind of fun actually to tell.
Dad is guilty. I told my girls, I said, look, when you kill these things, you can share them. Sharing the death, sharing the kill. And that's what they do.
Did they actually did they devour the mouse completely, or
no? Well, no, not completely. I don't know where the head is.
Eats the chest and head and legs.
Eats the chest, head, and legs. We have no idea what happened to them. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad
we just saw a body part. That was all we knew, and we threw that thing away. So yeah. Just catching up quickly. So Gorilla says, where'd the stream go? Well, it's still here, Gorilla, and I sent you a link. Just kidding. He says, my cat is still biting me from when I took him to the vet and he got a thermometer up his ass. Oh, well, that makes sense. Poor thing. And what's all this? What's all these emojis, Gorilla? Are you just like confused or upset or whatever? I don't know what that is.
Wow, I'm amazed.
He's upset about something.
Maybe.
I'm amazed Gorilla can have that much time to type if he's working. Like, wow, I'm impressed.
Or he just fell on it. Maybe he fell asleep.
I could never get away with that at work. I could never get away with that at work.
He got censored. Oh, he got
censored. Oh, that's what it was. Oh. Curtis knows, he says.
Girl is still on the censored kit because he hasn't changed his name back yet. So
it is irritating to get censored.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Suzanne just told me that nowadays though we have fewer bed bugs because she's been using Shout detergent. And Shout detergent, you tell them, honey.
Really?
This fabric stain remover Shout. You spray it on a bed bug, they kill them immediately.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
cheaper than poison, and it wipes out their entire nest.
Okay, well,
it destroys the nest and eggs as well.
Shout needs to. You guys should let Shout know about this because they can start marketing their product for a secondary purpose.
What what I tell her is like send it in Yelp or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell them Shout is one of the best softener things for killing bed bugs. Yes.
So when they have the slogan "Shout it out," they really mean it.
They do.
It coats them and then lifts their shell up and coats them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
very
wow.
cool.
That's really cool. I'm kind of like dumbfounded. I never knew that. I learned something today. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the gorilla says best cure for bed bugs is napalm. I am not gonna. Yeah, that can work too, but I'm not gonna drop a napalm bomb inside my apartment here.
Yeah,
So.
I don't think the landlord would be
On the
happy
day
with
we
that,
move.
would he,
Oh,
Mikey?
okay. Yeah, she said on the day we move, we could probably
Actually, I've heard stories about that when people move and what they do to
places.
their ex home. It's not pretty.
No, it's definitely not
Actually,
pretty.
I have a story related to my mother I could talk about bad.
Oh, sure,
tenants.
sure. And you want to also mention your cousin Mark, right?
Yeah. But it comes to mind that bad tenants. My mom's parents had a house that. Well, okay, this is going to take a while. This might take a few minutes, guys. Anyway,
Okay.
my mother was born in England, and she came across to Canada and I think she was born, I think, in 1924. They came across her and her parents in 1925, so she was like 5 years old or something, I guess. And they came across on one of those big ocean liners, right? Because you didn't have intercontinental, jets flying around in those days. So they came all the way to Canada. I guess they probably got off the boat in Halifax or something. All the way to British Columbia, I guess by train probably back then.
The only way you could, I think, was by train.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, being immigrants, I'm sure they were dirt poor as well, right? So they probably couldn't afford to buy a car or nothing yet. So, they moved to the Okanagan here, 30 miles away, my hometown. And my grandpa built the house. He built an actual house with his two hands. And it was a great house too. Like, it was an amazingly well built house, right? It didn't have a basement. It was just like a crawl space, but other than that, it was pretty damn good house for being built in the late 20s, early 30s, whenever he built it. Gosh, where am I going with this damn story? Oh, I hate it when I start wandering off.
It's okay. We all do it.
Yeah. Anyway, bad tenants. Yeah. So my grandparents lived there for many, many, many years until, of course, they got too old, and they, it was time to go to nursing home land, which they eventually did. And so the house was vacant, and my mother rented it out to a really nice lady that was very responsible for a number of years, and there was no problems, right? Like, the rent check would be brought over every month, and everything was, hunky-dory, so to speak. Anyway, after about 10 years with that lady, this lady decided to move out, and she let her friend move in without telling my mom. That's when the trouble started, because the other lady wasn't quite as cool as the first lady, and then she got a really creepy boyfriend moving in with her, and that guy was like, shady kind of guy, right? So they lived there for a number of years. At first, it was fine. They would pay the rent. Everything was good. But the last, maybe 6 months, they stopped paying the rent. They just stopped paying. So my mother had to fight for like 4 months. She went to the government. She signed all the forms. 4 months it took to get these bums evicted, right? And I'll never forget, because I went in to help my mom clean up, right? We go into the house. There's doors off the hinges. There's where the asshole guy punched the wall and put a hole in the wall, I guess, with his fist, kind of thing. Like, just crazy stuff like that, right? So I know all about bad tenants wrecking your property. And get this, there was a big shed in the backyard that my grandpa built too, right? Quite a large shed. Like, you could park a car in there, even though I don't think they ever drove, but you could have parked a car in there. It was filled with stuff like stereos, electronics, you name it, like piles and piles of stuff. And I know for a fact that guy didn't buy it. So I'm thinking this guy's been stealing, probably breaking and entering, stealing people's property and storing it in my mother's garage and her mother's shed, right?
Yes.
So that took days and days to clean all that out. So I would never want to be a landlord. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring the stream down, but
no, you didn't bring the stream down. Before I met Suzanne, we had moments where I had bad tenants. I had my first ex-wife. We let these two guys in to our place. We had a 1-bedroom apartment, and we let them to sleep on the couch. You know how that is when somebody is poor and they need some help, a little bit. And we knew these guys like in passing and whatever. We said, hey, you guys, if you want to come, and just hang out in our place for a couple days till you get yourselves, set up, with a place of your own, so on and so forth. Well, these guys ended up staying for over 6 months, and they gave what they could as part of, of the rent, whatever we owed on the rent on the apartment. But they were just like, they were freeloading, they were eating, they were doing that with drinking, all this other stuff. And we said, look, guys, you can't keep doing this. You've got to find a place of your own. Well, I didn't even realize until later these guys had always been homeless. And the only reason they managed to hang with other people is because they go to their heart and they go, oh, please, we have nowhere to stay. We got to have a place. We're trying to set up our own place. You know how that is. They tried to manipulate you.
I know exactly.
So that was insane.
35, 40 years ago, I was a shirt off your back kind of guy, right? To help you out.
Of course.
And I'm not anything like that anymore, guys.
No.
Don't ask to sleep on my freaking couch because
no.
You're going to get the LDG treatment the gorilla got, if you know what I mean. And that's
right
an intro.
Yeah.
I don't need to go any more graphic, but
yeah. What about you, Curtis? Did you ever have incidents like that? Did you, growing up, did you have anybody share a place with you or, roommates or whatever?
I did. And like 2 of them are still good friends of mine.
Cool.
We it's the only time I ever decided to share a house when I was younger. The third one decided to run off with the money we'd paid him for the electric bill.
Oh no!
And kind of put us all in a big bind. Yeah, because we were broke college students.
Oh
yeah. I've been there.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a friend.
Yeah, that's not a good friend. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've spoken to him once since then, and we won't talk too much about that. But the other 2 are both good friends. I don't want to talk to every day, and the other one I don't talk to much, but I still consider him a really good friend. And
cool.
But and then there was another guy that helped me out. He shared an apartment with me. He was a really good guy, but since we can't talk politics, I can't say too much about that.
All right.
But we ended up having a sharp difference in politics, and I don't know. It's like we haven't hardly talked in the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Kind of works out.
Yeah,
it kind of works out that way, knowing that one person has an opinion and somebody else has another opinion. Because I can be totally honest that I don't like the person who's in charge of the country over down south. But that being said, that's his choice. That was the people's choice. They wanted him back. Yeah. He's back. So there's nothing else you can do about it for 4 years. There's nothing you can do.
But the thing is, I agree with you, Mikey. Like, we disagree on Trump. I actually like the guy. Though I moderated that in recent months because when he starts talking that 51st state stuff, it just I don't bang my head against the wall at a certain point listening to that because I think, all he's doing, because Mark Carney. Okay, we're getting political. Shit. Mark Carney has done nothing but attacking Pierre, the conservative leader, saying he's Canada's Trump. Now, Pierre is not Canada's Trump. He's nothing like Trump, but he's conservative and he's right of center like Trump, and he has a lot of the same ideas as Trump. but they're good ideas to cut spending, cut waste, cut, giving money to
Cut
foreign aid.
crime.
There's just some stupid stuff that they give foreign aid to that, $1 million to this and $1 million to that. And then you read what it is and you go, what? $1 million to give condoms to Ethiopians? Like, why the hell am I paying taxes? Right? Why am I paying taxes?
But that was brilliant. That was brilliant statesmanship right there. I'm just teasing.
Oh well, I could go on, but I better not.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Gorilla says LDG lets people sleep on his couch. Really?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He seems
a good guy, but he's a scary bald man.
I know where LDG's foot's sleeping right now.
I know where you live, LDG. Gorilla says, "Oh, just embrace it. You will be our 51st state by midterms." I don't think so, Gorilla.
No.
There might be a shotgun or two facing him at the border.
The only way
the army starts to come after us.
The only way I would welcome
English Army. There you go.
King Charles. This is his rule.
Yeah, this is his rule, right? King Charles Army. They'll be standing at the border.
The only way I would embrace the 51st state would be if Mark Carney became our prime minister. Then I'd say, okay, Trump, send the troops in. Send the tanks in right now. I'm done. I give up. Canada's done. We're over. We're finished. Nice history, but we're over.
No, and I
get so passionate about it because I'm so like millions of us. We're so frustrated right now. But try not to be political.
He didn't show Castro take away all your guns.
He's trying to.
Well, we're pretty sure he didn't, but
he's trying to.
You never know. He tried to. Yeah. You never know there, Gorilla.
Castro got our guns. Bow, bow, wow, bow, wow, wow.
Well, the thing
he's not going to get Britain's. He's not going to get Britain's armory or any of that. So, as Suzanne has so eloquently pointed out, if Trump has even an inkling of trying to cross over and take over, he has a fight on his hands. He knows it.
Oh,
and he thinks he's dominant, and he's gonna. Well, he's a dictator. Come on, he wants to control everything.
Trump got elected by the majority of American citizens. He's not a dictator.
Okay, well, my parents say he is, but that's my parents.
Well, that's not correct because the American citizens lined up and they voted during the election and they voted for Trump. And love it or hate it, that's the facts. They voted for Trump, and I personally support the rights of citizens to vote in the leader they choose to vote for.
But the Pierre, okay, let me ask the question then, since I know I'm kind of breaking my own rule. But
your rule's done. We're done. Your rule's done there, Mikey.
Yeah, the rule's done there. Yeah, okay.
You're screwed. It's the political hour now. Okay.
Oh, crap. Okay, so Pierre Poilievre, so do you think that he's open to Trump saying he wants to annex this country? Come on. No, absolutely not. No.
Give me a minute here. I'm going to find.
Gorilla sent some thoughts. Beware, because Canadians walk among us.
Yeah.
Well, the weird thing most Americans don't realize is some of the coolest Americans are actually Canadian.
William Shatner.
Exactly.
Shatner.
Exactly.
Yeah, I apologize for last night. Airplane 2, the sequel. Most people who have never seen it don't realize that Shatner doesn't show up until almost the end of the film.
Oh,
and he's only in there for like 10, 15 minutes. And I didn't want to ruin it for PvP because he said he never saw it. So I was like, I don't want to ruin it for you, PvP. But I know when you kept like talking about where's Shatner, where is he, all this, and I understood because I was told the first time I went to see the movie in the theater. I'll give you my little spiel on it. The first time I saw Airplane 2, the sequel in the theater, here I heard from one of my friends who had seen it before me, who said, guess what? What? Well, the guy from the original Star Trek, Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner's in this film. And I said, what? He says, yeah, he's in there and he does a cool thing with the Enterprise. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. And I was exactly like you, BVB. I swear to God, I'm in the theater. I'm watching. I'm waiting for him to show, and then he finally shows up. But in the moments that he was on there, he was fucking hilarious. I mean, he was nuts. It was like, yeah.
Same thing. I just didn't really see it that way. It didn't do it for me. I hate to say that, but
yeah. You left us okay. You left us a link on something there in the private. Okay. I'll check that out.
I want you, and I would really love Curtis to check this out too, because
cool.
I think our American cousins need to learn about Pierre. I think he will, hopefully, unless the liberals, do a coup d'etat with old, World Economic Forum, global elitist asshole Carney. Unless they do a coup d'etat with that dude, I think he will be our next prime minister. And this is the best version I've found so far, because he did, Pierre did his rally in Ottawa on Saturday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was almost 2 hours, but a lot of it was in French, right? So some lovely person edited all the French bits out, because, I don't speak French. You don't speak French. And
by the way,
he condensed it down to the English version, which is about 55 minutes or so. And it's really a good speech. Like, I think Pierre's got the potential to be one of our greatest prime ministers in history. I really do. And I didn't even like the guy 10 years ago, right? I was never a fan of conservative. Sure. So I totally changed my view. Because I've listened to so much. Any interview the man does, he sounds intelligent. He sounds informed. He knows what he's talking about.
And he's believable. And he has integrity.
And he's not peddling BS like Carney is, right? You listen to Carney. Oh, there's a CTV interview with Carney that's frightening, because everything he bloody says pretty much is a lie.
Wow.
Because I know, because I've educated myself, and I've learned. I was turned off politics for a long time, but in the last 6 months, I've got right back into it, like big time again. And Carney ain't going to fool this puppy. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, no. Or the lady I talked to you about. Oh, and I wanted to mention also, please, let's say prayers for the people that got injured in the Delta plane that crashed at Toronto Pearson International Airport.
Oh, really?
And went upside down. Yeah. No fatalities. They got everybody off the plane.
Yeah, that's hard to believe, but yeah.
But this happened a few hours ago, right? And Curtis just saw it. I just saw it from NBC News, and I was like, "Holy mother! Oh my God! Another plane thing!" And then they were talking about all these other plane crashes, like the one he says it happened in Phoenix, Arizona. Excuse me, it's Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was their own little private airport, and that's where Vince Neil's pilot, and his girlfriend, not him, but I mean, they got hurt and the pilot died. So, I don't know where they get some of their news, but that's I want to say some prayers for sure during the stream or afterwards for the people. Hopefully they're okay.
I haven't heard about that. Jeez.
It just happened a few hours ago. Yeah,
I got to step away for a minute. Sorry, Mikey, but I got to step away.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, PvP. In the meantime, we'll catch up on the chat. So Gorilla says, I'm loving the trolling campaign this has been. I never thought it would have been paying off this much. Well, there you go, Gorilla. And hello, Kimmy Kim. Hello, Kimmy. Hey, Mikey. How are you, Kimmy? It's great to see you. Kimmy says, hey, Kurt. Kimmy says, hey, PvP. And Kimmy says, hey, Gorilla. Oh, it's great to see you, Kimmy. It really is. It's awesome that you're here. So Kimmy, she says, yeah, I'm great. Thank you. Kimmy, if you want, if you want to quickly mention in the chat there, your family. I know you've got a big family. You've got some girls and, and your boys and things like that. How do you feel around the time that you guys, because I think you also, don't you have a sort of an observance of Family Day there in the UK? So I know here we call it Canada's Family Day, but there in the UK, I don't know if you guys share the same kind of holiday there or not with families. I'm not really sure. So let me know in the comments there, Kimmy, if you do. Gorilla says, "Hey, Kimmy." So yeah, so that's awesome, Kimmy. It's good to see you. Let's see. What was I going to ask? Okay, so I guess Curtis.
Yes.
Are you? Well, let me ask you. Are you better off work-wise now that Big T's in the office again, or would you have been worse off if it was the other lady that would have gotten it?
The truth is, it's hard to say about that right now. I've had as you can tell, I've had a weird life, and honestly, my life has had little correlation with anything going on in politics. It just hasn't. My ups and my downs rarely have anything to do with anybody that's in politics. It's hard to say. I think where I stand on it. I don't think she would have been good for us economically at all. But I could have been wrong, and we'll never know. But right now I'm doing better, but it's not financial. It's a spiritual thing, because the job I had before, I was under a lot of pressure to say things that were not true, and I'm not good with that. So now I have a job that is harder, and the pay is slightly less, not substantially, but slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel pressured to lie to anybody at all, and that's the thing,
Yeah, that's a good thing. I would just before I get to you, PvP, just a sec. Kimmy says, which holiday? Sorry. She says the kids have a week off this week. Okay, your kids have a week off there in Britain. Well, I told her that today is Canada Family Day, while in the U.S. it's observed President's Day. Kimmy, love you being here. Gorilla says Curtis is fine either way. The street corner pays the same no matter who's in office. I'm kidding, Curtis. Kimmy says, no, we don't have anything like that, to be honest, which is a shame. And happy Canada Day and President's Day. Thank you, Kimmy. Well, that's much appreciated.
It's not Canada Day until July 1st, actually, Kimmy, but
yeah, the actual Canada Day, right? Is July 1st.
That's July.
But today it's all about families. So
Family Day. Well, they just invented this holiday like 5 years ago, right?
Oh, welcome back there, PvP. Yeah.
Like I guess they figured, people need maybe a break in middle of February when it's gray and cloudy and snowy and depressing, and maybe they just said, well, let's give those poor saps a holiday so they can waste 24 hours and do something stupid with their lives or whatever.
And do something, right? Yeah, Kimmy said she hadn't heard of observed President's Day before. Well, it's always usually around the third Monday of every February is when they have a President's Day, because I know I had to study about it in school and other things that were, when I studied history. So it's always around the third Monday of February, always in the United States. Now, some of the states, not all of them, some of the states consider it like a federal holiday, and so they will give employees a day off. But other states, probably not Minnesota, like where Gorilla is, consider it that way. They just think it's a regular day and you go and you work. So, not every state is the same. They observe it, but it's just done differently in every location. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Well, Dadman walking 55. Hey, Mikey. Hello, Dadman.
Hey, Dadman.
Dadman is the man. Yeah.
Well, he's the
How
dad
you doing
man
there,
anyway.
Dadman? And Mrs. Dadman, how's Mrs. Dadman doing? Cool. Yeah. And Kimmy says we have bank holidays. Okay. Which just gives people a random day off work. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing UK is what I'm hearing with bank holidays.
Oh, yes, of course.
Because people I know in the UK, they talk about the bank. They have millions of bank holidays too. I mean, it's like every second week they got a bank holiday. No, I'm just kidding. But there's still a lot of them though, like over the years.
Oh, of course. And Kimmy says, "Hey, Dad, man." And yes, hon, I am from the UK.
Okay, yes, nice to know. Nice to know there, hon.
She's keeping UK beautiful.
Yeah, well, she is beautiful. I gotta say, very attractive.
She's a sweetheart, and her daughter Scarlett just turned 17, right, Curtis?
Oh, so, I think so.
Yeah, Scarlett's been helping us out, and she's not that. I mean, Charlotte, who is 22, is not much older than Scarlett. I swear they could be sisters. What do you think, Kimmy? They could be sisters. I know it sounds weird, but I think it's probably true. She says, yes, we do. Let me check how many we have. Oh, very cool. And she says, oh, thank you guys. Well, of course, we love you, girl.
So I have a question for you two, and to keep it from being political, let's go back. Let's go back to before 1960, so at least maybe we can minimize it.
Well, I wasn't born in 1960, though.
Well, that's why I'm backing it up that much. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, PVV.
I'm in diapers still at that point.
Okay, close enough. Then. Close enough. From before 1960, who is your favorite U.S. president?
Wow.
Before 1960.
Before 1960.
Gosh.
Oh, I think that's, for me, it's a no-brainer. Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Okay.
I have
3 terms.
I have a really hard time narrowing it on to a single one because I think there's a couple that were really good.
Yeah.
I would say FDR was pretty good, and obviously, he got elected 3 times or something.
He did. He got elected 4 times.
4 times. Okay, so he must have done something right. Get elected that many times, you must be doing something right. And I mean, the New Deal, I know some people in our community hate him for the New Deal and all that stuff. They think he's a socialist, is a blah, 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 bad man, whatever. I'm not that knowledgeable about political stuff back in those days in America, so I just kind of avoid that argument totally. But I'd have to mention Abraham Lincoln, perhaps, as a great president. I mean, I think, freeing a percentage of your population from slavery is not the worst idea anybody ever had, right?
No.
I have to say, though, if you wanted me to say like my top 3, I'd say definitely number 1 would be Abraham Lincoln. Definitely would be number 1. Number 2 for me would be FDR, and I think number 3 would be John F. Kennedy.
Okay. But that's after 1960, though.
It is, but it's his stream, so I'm not gonna.
I think Curtis is going to give me a little leeway there.
Okay,
it's his stream, so yeah.
When he was taken out like less than 2 years before I was created on this earth, so
Okay, I'm sticking to the original guidelines that Curtis presented with.
Excellent, thank you.
My final 3rd pick, I think, was it Harry Truman that said beware of the military-industrial complex?
Well, actually, no, but Truman did some wonderful things, but the guy who said beware the industrial complex was Eisenhower.
Oh,
okay, I'll go. Well, Eisenhower was never president, though, was he?
Yeah.
Was he? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of him as a general or something. Okay.
He was, but that's why he became president. Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck Truman then. I'll go with Eisenhower.
Wow, we just started off the chat here even faster. Look at this. So Kimmy says they have the same crazy energy the kids do. She said, Gorilla, my parents weren't even born yet. Well, none of us were even a sparkle in your dad's sperm eye or something.
A year old, maybe.
Well, thanks for making me feel like that ancient man on top of the mountain.
Yes.
Kimmy says we will have 8 bank holidays this year. That doesn't count all the holidays the kids have off school.
See?
Do they even go to school,
This
Kimmy?
is what I said. The Brits get all these damn holidays. We don't get these holidays.
I don't know.
I'm jealous.
Kimmy says
I admit
our
it.
kids. Yeah, she says our kids in the UK only go to school for between 195 to 200 days a year. That's not a lot. Yeah, that's not a lot.
You're telling me the kids get like 165 days a year off at least? Wow,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah. And Gorilla says, to be fair, only reason he managed to free the slaves was to boost the Northern Army's numbers and to demoralize the South. Well, there's more to it than that. Come on, Gorilla. You're only scratching the surface, you big hairy brother. You gotta check more on that.
Well,
it had a lot more to do than just that.
I just want to mention one of my favorite military films, Glory.
That's a great film.
I love that film so much. And I know people criticize it, and some people go, well, it's not 100% historically accurate, blah, 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 blah. And maybe it isn't, but damn, every time I see that film, it inspires the hell out of me. I love the soundtrack. The music is so gorgeous. Was it Goldsmith that wrote that soundtrack for that film? Jerry Goldsmith,
yes.
I believe.
I believe so, yes.
Incredible score. I mean, that's not every film I watch can bring tears to my eyes just on the music, but that film does it every damn time I watch it because it's so damn beautiful. And it's so tragic. And it's like these heroic men up against incredible odds, like just impossible odds to even survive. And yet they form into a unit. They form, well, we're talking about Family Day. Perfect film, right? They become a family. And by the time of the end of the film, they are so bonded, they die as a family, basically, right?
Are you talking about Glory?
Glory.
Yeah. It's an incredible movie.
I'm sorry. I get emotional just thinking.
I do. I do too. I feel chills just remembering.
Well, one of our this we found out. This I found out from doing some family background heritage. One of my Fournier brothers that served in the Union forces was killed by a mini ball as he was attacking Fort Fisher over there in South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, he died in battle. He went charge and got his head taken off by a mini ball.
Oh, that sounds horrific. Oh man.
It was
terrible.
There is that scene in Glory when a guy does get his head blown off.
That could have been my relative. I have no idea. I really don't know, but that could have been.
Yeah, it was quite barbaric times, it's like when I think of Britain back in, the age of the knights in armor and all that stuff, right? I mean, I can't imagine guys hacking each other to pieces with broadswords or something. It's just like, man, humanity has been really through some damn rough times.
They really have.
We are blessed.
You know that, you guys, you remember that scene in Braveheart, and I know that Suzanne can attest to this because she could say that actually happened. Some of them lifted their kilts and showed their bare asses to the English, and the English shot them with all sorts of arrows and shit.
Oh,
you want to leg up the butt? This is literally your a pinata, you're a pincushion for all these archers, that shoot the arrows into their butt and everything.
I would decline. I would very much decline to have an arrow shot up my ass. I really would.
I'm glad I voted against that.
But it's just freaking insane. And of course, Kimmy is laughing. Gorilla says, if you're going to use my sayings, get them right. My dad wasn't even swimming in my grandpa's ball sack yet. Oh, okay. Well, we can rely on you, Gorilla, for that accurate commentary. Kimmy says, yep. And she says, most films are never accurate. No, they never are. They're exaggerated. I don't call them not accurate. I call them exaggerated facts.
Yeah.
Well, I know when you talk about Gettysburg, now Gettysburg is a fantastic miniseries. If anybody has ever seen it, they know what I'm talking about. The battle scenes are incredible. And a majority of them are accurate, right up to the point. Like when Pickett does his charge and he goes all, hog wild and goes after him, that is accurate. That is actually based on people, the bodies they found, the amount of ammunition that was shot at him, and pickets and everything. Yeah, it's absolutely accurate. And also, Kimmy says, I haven't seen that. I need to watch. You do. You need to see Glory. You need to see Gettysburg. Glory. Yes.
It's a great movie.
Kimmy, when you watch Glory, get a couple boxes of Kleenex next to your table.
Yes.
You're going to need them. You're going to need them.
Because when you watch these people die, especially who rushed at it with them, Matthew Broderick's character. Carrie Ellis. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got such a fabulous cast too. It's like
Yes.
oh, what's the guy? The Denzel?
Denzel Washington.
Did he win
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Who won the award? I think it was Denzel, wasn't it? That got the Academy Award.
One of them did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it had
it's like an all-star cast.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and a couple.
Yeah, it's just such a fabulous cast. You know what? Too, it's like what's you mentioned the first guy. I'll be in
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Right. Thank you. I was going to see the guy not of color.
Right.
Guy not right.
I was trying to be politically correct.
Colored infantry. Right.
But
you can say that. YouTube. I can say colored infantry. I can say that because it's a historical fact. It's in books. You read it. It says it there, right there.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't know about you guys, but Matthew Broderick, as an actor, when I think of great actors on my top 100 list, Matthew is probably pretty low down on the list somewhere, right?
Yes. Oh, he's very low down. Well, he did kill people on the road.
But he did great.
I think Matthew has done a lot of really mediocre work, sadly, in his career. But I got to say, for me, Glory is the one film he absolutely nails the character. And he gives it. I think Matthew should have gotten. I don't know if he got nominated for an award, but he should have.
I don't think he did.
No, but I think it wasn't it Fishburne? It was one of those guys that was in the infantry that got the Oscar for.
Yeah. One. It was, I think, Denzel. I think Denzel got it, didn't
Denzel Washington. That's it. Yes, Denzel.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole all the main cast in that film, there was like 4 or 5 guys that could have gotten an award, right? As far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Sure.
Easily.
And Kimmy says here with the chat, they Hollywoodized them. That's hard to say in one word. Kimmy says, but I love history, and it really annoys me when they're not right. Yeah, well, okay. Here's I'll tell you this after I finish this. Kimmy says, I definitely will thank you for the suggestions. And also she says, actually, I think I've seen it, but with things it's called something different in the UK, which I totally get. I will say one thing about Braveheart. Okay, what they think of my wife's clan Craigton, or the Clan Craig, those guys were not at all. I mean, I don't know what book or lineage that Gibson was reading, but the Clan Craig never, ever retreated. They never backstabbed William Wallace or anybody in the back. They did fight, but then they got overwhelmed. And when they got overwhelmed, that's when they had to go back. But they never just went right out and, left him high and dry, in Falkirk or, wherever he was. They never did that. So, I mean, it's Kimmy is exactly right. And they don't always get it accurate. And I know, because based on the history that she was told, that her family did fight with distinction in that battle with the English. So, just saying.
The movie was based off of a novel that was written by a gentleman named Randall Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
And Randall Wallace had gone on a trip to Scotland.
Right.
And he got, I mean, don't get me wrong, he did do a fair amount of research and he got some of his facts right, but he also took some stories that he was told that he actually knew were not accurate. Not because he was trying to tell a lie, but because he was trying to write a novel. And as you know, a novel is often it's fictionalized. It's exaggerated. So
it is.
It's
exactly what I said. Exaggeration. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Kimmy says from your description, and it's a very emotional, moving film. She also said Braveheart annoys me, but Mill's accent really pissed me off.
Freedom.
I thought, I thought when he tried to get the accents right in ancient times, the biblical times, when he tried Passion of the Christ, and I thought Caviezel let's be honest. I mean, I think he did a great Jesus Christ.
I think he did.
I really do. But I mean, like everybody else that was in it just weren't there. I mean, it just seemed like it was all about Jim. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, it's about Christ. All right. I understand. But, you know, well, the one scene that always gets to me, as I always say, is when he is being tortured. And when he gets the thing like the
cat of nine tails.
Once. Yeah. Right. The cat of nine tails goes into him, his body and everything. Oh, my God. Every single time I am bawling my eyes out.
Yes.
Because it is accurate. That is one of the few times that Gibson got it right.
I think
he knew exactly what he read in the Bible. Yeah. He knew exactly what occurred. There's actual accounts written down in further chapters, but that is exactly what happened. Everything that was there on that pillar, on that platform, and he was against, and he was getting, So that's absolute, yes, definitely. But, Woo, emotional rescue here. I need it.
We need the catharsis. My 3 favorite presidents were.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Believe it or not, James Monroe. Nobody ever thinks about him, and I never did either. But I read a biography of him about a decade ago, and I did not know what a just incredible, amazing man and president he was.
Yeah, his Monroe Doctrine, he named it after himself.
He did. And I know that that's kind of controversial, but I'm really not even thinking about that when I say
not as controversial as the New Deal in the early 30s that Franklin Delano Roosevelt had to come up with after we had a stock market crash of 1929.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to give a couple of highlights just to let you know some of the reasons why.
Go for it.
When the French Revolution happened, Lafayette was imprisoned and going to be guillotined. James Monroe led a frickin' squad of troops and rescued him and took him home. He was a badass. I mean, it's just incredible to think that someone would do that. I mean, could you imagine Trump doing that? I mean, I voted for the guy, but can you imagine him doing that? I can't imagine him doing that.
I can see it. Yeah.
I could imagine Trump talking like that.
Yes.
He loves to say, "Oh, you will be the 51st state." Doesn't matter what 40 million fucking people like me thinks. Like, oh, yeah, I'll just bend over there, Mr. Donald, and
PvP. You're going to be the 51st state. It's going to be the most glorious thing. You're going to love being the 51st state of the United States.
It's going to be
just
great. It's going to be great.
Curtis, you do a great job. I swear to God. You could be in office. You could take over for him.
I honestly don't care what Trump says because I know politicians can go batshit crazy because they often do.
Yes.
But you know what really upsets me is every time Donald says stuff like that, the liberals are going to gain more votes in the next election. And I am terrified of the liberals getting a 4th term. I honestly think my country will die. I think my country will be over. If Mark Carney ever got to be prime minister, I don't know how many sane people would have to vote to let that clown in. But seriously, that guy with his policies. Okay, I'll give you a background on Mark Carney. Okay, I'm sorry, but politics is it's we're not talking about family anymore, really, are we?
No, we kind of went off the rails there with that.
Let me get you up here.
Let me get you up here real quick, guys.
Okay.
Kimmy says.
Okay, I'll gather my thoughts on Mark Carney then.
Oh yeah, please. Kimmy says it's like when they got Liam Neeson to play Rob Roy. I mean, get an Irishman to play a Scotsman. Vice versa. Kimmy says, I have never seen Passion of the Christ. It is really good. You know what? I got to tell you, this thing that I had talked about previously, Kimmy, if you go and watch our channel, I talked about the 5 biblical films that I thought stand out in my mind. And every year when it comes to Easter, there are at least 3 films I want to see every Easter. That's Jesus of Nazareth, The Greatest Story Ever Told, and Passion of the Christ. Those are the only 3 I ever want to see. because it covers Jesus's life, every one of those movies, and in their own unique way. And that, for me, we always watched, my parents and I, we always watched Ten Commandments. I mean, come on, Charlton Heston as Moses. Come on, Yul Brynner. That was great shit.
I love that film, and I'll give you a quick background why I do.
Okay. Kimmy says I will have to give it a watch. I know it won so many awards. I agree. Gorilla says, and PvP, we will let you keep your health care if we get free maple syrup. So just embrace us.
Oh, you can have all the frickin' maple syrup you want, Gorilla.
Oh my God!
I don't make pancakes too often anyway. So
right.
Hey,
and
Jeff.
Jeff B, hail, Mikey, PvP, Curtis, and chat. Hello, Jeff B. Always good to see you. Kimmy says, "Hey, Jeff," and Kimmy is laughing her ass off. Okay, so alrighty. So we're caught up on the chat. Okay, now let's go ahead and say, if you want PvP, what do you want to say about Matt Carney? What was your thoughts?
I am very, very, very worried about why. Well, the first thing is he's never been elected to any office in Canada. He's not a sitting member of Parliament. He's got no credentials as a politician, and yet I think Carney has as much right as I do to be briefed by the insiders in Trudeau's Liberal government, and they are briefing him. They are giving him information that only insiders within the Liberal cabinet should know, and he is not an elected citizen. If he can get that information directly from Trudeau's people, well, why can't I? I'm just the same. I'm unelected too. It's like, what the hell's going on? There's been videos about this. I mean, there's one lady that is a member of Parliament on the Conservative side, and she put a video out a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, this is wrong. This is so very wrong what is happening in our country right now, because we have an unelected person getting inside information from the government and basically getting put into the leadership race. I mean, the Liberals are basically they're giving this guy coronation. I mean, remember that painting of Napoleon crowning himself?
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what's happening in Canada today. And I am so freaked out that this, I never thought this would happen in my democracy, but it is. Yeah. And I'm really scared as hell. And
I'm scared too. Believe me, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. I put one there. There's another one. The weird thing is usually CTV is friendly to the Liberals. Like they're basically bought and paid for by the Liberal government, right?
Oh, of course.
But there was a CTV stream I watched earlier today where the guy just basically let Carney run his mouth, and Carney sounded like such a fool. It was actually amazing. I don't know if I saved that though. Sometimes I save clips and sometimes I don't.
Well, let's go quickly through here. So
yeah, just go talk amongst yourselves,
It's not about that. Come on. Kimmy says, nope, but we're on about presidents. Well, yes, we are now. Jeff B says, rails, we don't need no stinking rails. Jeff B says, hey, Kimmy, lemon pie. Hello, Sir Lemon. Welcome. He says, hey, Mikey. Kimmy says, hey, lemon pie. Gorilla says, hey, Jeff. He says, hey, Scurvy. He also says lemon to hi, Kimmy. And okay, Gorilla. Gorilla symbol. And hey, PvP and Curtis. Okay,
hey, Lemon.
Guys.
How you doing there, buddy?
Hello, Jeff and Lemon.
Now we're all caught up. Yeah, and I see that channel that you left there for yeah, okay.
I just added. I luckily I did put a like on the lady who did a kind of really good discussion. It's only like 10 minutes long, and she goes over all the reasons why this is wrong and what's going on with our democracy. Right? I believe she is an elected member of the Conservative Party too, which gives her a lot of credibility, right? And she's a very smart lady. I have listened to her channel, and actually I'm sub to her channel a while back, and she has a lot of good thoughts about Canadian politics. So I would encourage anybody that cares about, what's going up north here, please check out her channel, because she's really good. And this probably is one of the best ones about Carney. And because it's nice and short, but she basically, sums up all the reasons that this is very, very bad for our democracy.
Gorilla? Okay. Yeah.
Going
yeah. So, I mean, that's something that we got to really, especially as here in Canada, we have to be really aware of, is that the fighting's not over yet. Until Pierre can get in there and start, reboosting the economy and trying to rebuild what this moron, JT destroyed, for 10 years, we're not safe. And they're trying to put, other people in ahead of Pierre so that Pierre gets booted without any reasonable fight or anything. That's the scariest part to me.
Well, my question is, Mikey, Donald Trump came into office, got elected back in November. So we're talking November, December, January. We're into February. This is like what, 3 months ago, something like that. Like
3 months ago, about 3.5, almost 4 months.
We're talking like quarter of a year or something, right? It's
sure.
It's just nuts. A responsible prime minister, because Trudeau knows in his heart that he's finished. He knows how much he's hated in this country now.
Oh, for sure.
Any responsible Democratic leader.
Meow.
When Trump got in November, Trudeau should have hung it up right then and said, I'm calling the election right now.
Yeah.
Because I am a lame duck. I'm not going to get reelected. People don't like me.
Nope.
The Americans have a strong new leader that they voted for in large numbers, like a landslide number, because he did win a landslide election. And
he did.
Trudeau should have said, to be fair, honest, and to care deeply about Canada and the Canadian people, I'm calling an election right now. That should have happened like 2 months ago, right? For him to hang on and put someone like Mark Carney in the saddle, trying to become the first unelected prime minister in Canadian history, that in itself sucks bad.
Yeah. Now Gorilla just said something.
I have no respect for Trudeau. Like, Trudeau's a scumbag. I'm sorry.
He's a total douche.
We do all agree on that score. I think there's none of us that are going to argue that one.
Absolutely no question about that. But here's Gorilla saying, tomorrow's supposed to be so cold. If I go take a piss off the back steps, it will freeze midstream. Now, Brother Rape, if that happens, I want you to film a short on YouTube. Yeah, literally you pulling out your pants, doing the piss, and seeing
I want the video. I want the video short too.
I want the video too. I want it.
I think I can live without that. But anyway.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to show his member. All he has to do.
No, he just has to show
the stream. Yeah.
He just shows the stream freezing.
You know what I mean?
That'd be good.
Yes,
oh my God. Jesus. Kimmy says laughing her ass off. Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say. Yeah. So Gorilla, you say things, but I don't think you've got a chance to pull it off, and so that's what I want to see. I want to see you, say what you're going to do. See if you pull that off. Kimmy says we don't need to see the tackle. I know.
Yeah, I don't actually want to see Gorilla pulling anything off. I'm sorry, guys, but
he says I don't know. The censor people might get jealous. What do you mean jealous? They'll probably be laughing at it. It's a fountain. Ooh, it's a waterfall.
The crazy thing about this stream today is I didn't talk much about my family at all, and it kind of turned into a family day discussion, though, because I think of the large family of Canadians out there that are worried about our future. So it kind of is appropriate.
It is kind of a family. Yeah, it did turn out that way. And I kind of like that. I wanted to, I wanted the families to realize that who they still have in their lives are as I cannot get this right.
I just want to quickly ask, though. I mean, I know we sidetracked with politics.
Do not want to see that short.
But do either of you guys want to talk about your family at all? Like before, I'm going to leave soon and go. I think over to Larry's political stream because then I can rant on it. I hate Trudeau more. So.
Oh, sure. Well, like I said, I just want to quickly mention about my family. As I said, all of my family, my mother, my father, my brother, my two sisters, all of their families, all of their kids, cousins, everybody that from my dad's side, people from my youngest sister's side, her family, her in-laws, everything. They all live down there in the United States. So they're going through everything that everybody else is going through right now. But to be fair, their temperature, talk about weather, it was 78 degrees today. Here, it is 11 degrees outside. And we have 7 feet of snow on the ground. And Suzanne herself said it's going to take 3 weeks. It's going to take 3 weeks to clear up all this snow. And we're still having a storm and another polar vortex coming our way. There was one other thing I want to mention about family before we just go on to whatever we want to talk about here. The thing I want to mention is that there was this guy, and I wish I could remember his name, but I'll find it somewhere next time. He talked about marriage being a sham, and he talked about how he got screwed over financially and all this other stuff. And he was even talking about common law stuff, which I know our beautiful Miss Moira and Chris, they have a great relationship there, which is common law. And without going much into more detail. And this guy's saying it's a sham. I'm like, really? But I mean, he has some good points. But there was other things where I said, but that's not family values. That's not where you want to keep a family together because you think that this lady is going to screw you over for every single dollar you make, plus you've had kids. So now the kids are suffering at the same time because this whole battle between financial, community, property, and all that stuff. That's one reason why I was glad I never had children. I think that was the reason I never was able to become a dad because I don't know how I could have handled it with the 2 divorces I went through if I had any kind of children. The best part is that I love the fur babies we have, and my whole family loves the fur babies too. And I wish they could come up here and visit. I really do. But circumstances, extenuating as they are, unless one of my parents is on their deathbed or something's going to happen, that's the only way I'm going to be able to get to see them. And that scares me. And I know it's going to come. One day, I'm going to have what happened to Larry last year. I'm going to have that same situation, and I just don't know how I'm going to handle it. I just don't know. But that's why I always pray for him, and I pray for his family. I pray for everybody that have lost parents in the past. Suzanne doesn't have hers. She has one sister who lives all the way over there in Newfoundland and Halifax and Nova Scotia, whatever, and some family, but she never talks to them. She has not said a word to any of them since she left after her dad died last. So, I mean, it's just... I try to put, when it comes to families, I try to put a positive outlook on it. I say that families that are still together, that have their kids, that have cousins and aunts and uncles, whatever, should be feeling very blessed, very lucky. And I feel like here on YouTube, in StreamYard, in Facebook, X, TikTok, whatever you call it, there are communities that are true, that act like true families, and they do legitimately care about each other. They love each other. They support one another. And then I think that's fantastic. And that's like when you have a day like this, you think about a family day and you're going, yeah, there's some people I really care for that are out there, and I wish I could be with them. I know that all these miles distance is difficult, but that's why we have social media. That's why we can talk to these people and go, hey, how you doing? Are you doing all right, buddy? What's happening? How are you, sweetie? Are you doing good? Everything okay? That's what I like about that, is knowing that you have that extended family members that you really, truly care about, and you want to know what their welfare is and how things are going. And that's how I feel with you guys. I mean, PvP and Curtis, you were two of my most treasured brothers. I'm proud to say that I know you guys. I love Jay Aldridge. He is a good brother to me. Of course, I love Larry. Larry is family. My mom and dad are his mom and dad now. My mom and dad automatically adopted him as soon as they found out about his mom last year.
You have brought up a very interesting point, Mikey, that I would like to elaborate on for a minute. If
absolutely, go ahead. Yeah.
I think when you think of the word family, it doesn't just mean blood kin. Because sometimes blood kin can be the most SOB assholes you ever wanted to know, and you just don't ever want to talk to them again. And I've been there, right? I've had people like that.
Well, I told you, my youngest sister, without saying her name, really doesn't like Suzanne at all. So and
people don't get along.
It's not by choice that we avoid each other. It's her saying she wanted us to move here. So I was like, okay.
I'm just saying, just because I'm genetically connected to a person doesn't mean I'm going to agree with them, get along with them, share their life values or anything else, right? And it does happen to a lot of people in the world. So I think it's not just about blood ties. It's about ties, like you mentioned, on like our community on the internet here. It's about ties with people that we share ideas with, and we share likes and dislikes, and we share opinions, and we don't always agree. I mean, I would never want anybody to agree with me 100% of the time, because that would be boring, right? But
what about you? What about you, quickly, Curtis? Would you want anybody to agree with you 100% of the time?
Yes, I want everybody to agree with me all the time. Oh wait, no, that was my ex-wife. I'm sorry.
Only if she was my ideal version of a woman that I wanted to have hot sex with every day, and then I would be quite satisfied if she agreed with everything.
Or in this case, if you were Jay Aldridge, who somehow found his lost love and got her back, Renee, and well, we don't need to know much more.
I would just say, if I met the right lady and she wanted to say yes, 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 and I'd say yes, 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 we'd be madly in love, and we spend half the day going yes, yes, yes to each other, and that would be silly, but it would be kind of fun. So
it would be
fun. Guys, if you don't mind, let me catch up on the chat here real quick. Lemon Pie says, I do not want to see Gorilla.
We don't need to see his member. We just need to see the stream.
I know. Jeff B says short, LOL Lemon. Kimmy says you could just use water. Oh, that's true. Kimmy says we're worried about our country because an idiot is running ours. Okay.
You got an even worse idiot in Britain, I gotta say there,
Kimmy. Yeah, she's got it worse. Yeah, she does. Great.
Starmer is basically created 1984 in England right now.
It really did.
I haven't paid attention for a month or two, but the stuff he's put into law is absolutely batshit crazy, scary stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She also says I have 2 girls and a boy, but they're all teenagers, and I have my hubby.
That's good.
She says, "Holy shit, that's crazy, Mikey." Yeah, it is. Kimmy says, 15, 17, and 19-year-olds. The hubby and I, we've been together for 16 years. Oh, that's awesome. Kimmy says, "Oh, we love you, Mikey." And Kimmy says, "Yeah, you can have a chosen family." Totally agree with PvP. I totally agree with that. Kimmy says, "Nothing wrong with silly. And water is not as much fun," Gorilla says. Yeah, well, it's yellow snow. What was that? Zappa Frank saying about yellow snow and the revolution?
Girls got to drink the water first, and a couple hours later,
my God.
They'll do the video. Right?
Zappa Frank, yellow snow.
I just want to say, though, it's like,
I don't think he's ever heard it, Curtis.
Family is a complicated thing, and I have been alone for so much of my life.
Yes,
I really have.
True.
And my parents have been gone a long time now. I lost my mom like 8 years ago. And, I'm alone in my apartment here. And you come to terms with that. I am okay being alone. Like actually the weird part is I don't know how I would adapt to if I met a great lady, I don't know how comfortable I would be to moving in together, right? I like to have my own space. I like to have my private days, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At my age, maybe I'm too old to cohabit with another person. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, Kimmy's sending her big hugs from across the pond. So that is much appreciated, Kimmy.
Thank you, Kim. I'm just glad Kimmy has a nice family to surround her there, and that really does give me joy. Because I'm like you, Mikey. I never had kids. You know, I look back like 35 years ago when I was at art college, right? There were a couple of ladies. If I had half a brain, but you know, when you're like, 29, 30, you're stupid. I was stupid. I was an idiot. Because all I cared about was working on my degree at college, right? All I cared about was getting that 4-year piece of paper, which I've sold some art. Sure, I've sold stuff. I have stuff in galleries. I mean, but it's not like you're going to get rich unless you're like Picasso or something. You're not going to fucking get rich being an artist, right? Let's face it. But I have a couple of ladies I still remember fondly. And if I had half a brain when they showed interest in getting to know me, I would have been like all over them. Like, let's go, baby. Let's go have dinner. Let's go have coffee. Let's just go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, go. But I had, when you're young, you have your head up your ass and you're only thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
That was me. And to this day.
Well, I didn't know any better. When I got married the first time, I just real briefly, I'll say this. When I got married the first time to the first Evil X, I was with her for 7 years. I didn't realize what I was doing. I was totally naive as shit. I had no clue. And when she eventually cheated on me, whatever.
Oh, that's not
put us both at risk. I mean, put both our lives at risk with AIDS, which was one at that time. She had no idea, that she was really destroying me. She thought she understood, and she didn't. She had no clue at all what she was doing. My second one, there's not much to say. She was left back in Oklahoma. She wanted to be back with her folks. She tries to get a hold of me 15 years later, is telling me, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't stay with you," and all this other stuff. We never had kids. None of us did. But the first one had a miscarriage, and things happen for a reason. That's why I believe in God so much, because God does things for a reason. And I know I'm not supposed to be a father of human children, but I know I can take care of animals, and I'm an animal whisperer. I love dogs, I love cats, but especially I love cats. Cats are my thing. They're Suzanne's thing. We can talk to our cats. We know how they feel. That all they have to do is give us a brief little meow, and we can. And we know exactly what's up with them. Just to finish here, so Kimmy says, I have had a very hard life, so I feel truly blessed to have my family around me. It's true. Kimmy says, I am so blessed to have you guys in my life too. Oh, well, we love you.
We want to say, Kimmy, we feel the same way about you, and we're so glad you're here in the chat. And if you ever want to come on one of our panels someday, feel free. Like, we'd love to have you and talk with you. But if you're just comfortable in the chat, that's cool too. Like, I understand.
Yeah, let me know, Kimmy. I could, for this one time, I can go ahead and send you the link, and you can come right up if you want to talk to.
But I just want to say, I don't think I've ever met Kimmy before, but I appreciate her positivity, and she's so nice, and she's so, reaching out in a friendly way to all of us. And I say, blessings to you, Kimmy. I think you're a beautiful lady.
She is. Gorilla says PvP. Oh, I'll let you read this. Go ahead, PvP. You read it. Go ahead, what Gorilla says.
Okay, Gorilla's censored thoughts said, PvP, you just need to change your name to Hunter Biden. Then you can charge $500,000 per painting. Yeah, I wish. I wish it was. I wish it was that fucking easy. Jesus.
I wish it was that easy, because Suzanne, I showed you guys some portraits she's done, which are fantastic, and someone actually took one of her portraits.
That's what I got to do. I got to get all my shit up on Facebook, because
You do. You do. You need to get some stuff up there. Look at the stuff that you painted up here. Everything is beautiful.
The sad thing is with the holiday, I actually had a 4-day weekend, and you know what I did? I got jack shit done. That's what I got done. Jack shit, and I'm so mad at myself because
yes, I know. I said that.
You know, I'm a bachelor that needs a woman to just kick me hard in the ass and get me motivated.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Kimmy's laughing. Kimmy says, "Oh, thank you." And yeah, I would love to. I'm just sick at the moment. Okay, Kimmy.
Well, get better.
Maybe next time. Next time, March 1st. March 1st, we're doing a very special live stream. Suzanne and I, we're celebrating 15 years together as a couple. We met each other for the very first time online back on March 1st of 2010, and it's been 15 years. So we are doing a special live stream that day. It'll be later on in the evening, so I won't be running into anybody else's streams, but it's going to be fun. That is something we plan on doing. And here is Anchorman, Mr. Scott. Hello, Scott. How you doing, sir? Good to see you in the chat. This is just about families and so on. Anchorman, we're going to be shutting down here in a few minutes so that Larry can continue
more politics than was planned on. So
over in the other.
I realize I hardly ever talked about my family in the stream tonight.
Of course, yeah, Scott has family as well. Right? He's got a good And Lemon says, "Nice to meet you, Kimmy. I think I've seen you in other streams, though." Yes, you have. You've seen her in streams with Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. Me and Curtis and Charlotte and Kimmy, we all hang out. And Ezra's a good guy. Lemon says, "Anchorman, hello." Kimmy says, "Oh, thank you, Lemon Pie. It's lovely to meet you too." And Kimmy says, "I will join next time for sure." Okay, so March 1st, I will. Kimmy, if you do have a Facebook, please let me know the next time that we pair together, with Charlotte, and I can go to your Facebook and friend you, and then that way I can send you in your Facebook Messenger the link for the next time that we do our live stream on March 1st, okay? Just make sure you let me know. And that's amazing, Kimmy says. And Kimmy, have I seen you in Gorilla or Larry's before? I don't think you have, Lemon. I think you've only seen her mostly in Charlotte's. Kimmy says, "Hey, Anchorman." Kimmy says, "Yeah, Lemon, I joined the other day. Charlotte invited me." Oh, that's awesome. Okay, yes, she was there. Yeah, oh, that's it. Yeah, at Charlotte's, right. And she says, "Okie dokie, sweetie." I like that. And Lemon says, "I think I was distracted because I was hearing Charlotte's siren voice for the first time." Oh, yeah. When Charlotte is talking, right? Am I right, Curtis? I mean, you're blown away. You're just blown away.
Yes, truly true. She has a beautiful voice. So
yes,
there are those women that have siren voices. Mm-hmm. My favorite, I think, in the community has got to be Jill, because every time Jill talks, I'm just like mesmerized at how beautiful she sounds, and I shouldn't say that because I know it's improper, but I just think Jill's got a gorgeous voice.
Well, Curtis, anti-derivative Jill. You know her, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've heard Jill talk a lot and everything, and yeah, she's very sweet. Yeah, very nice person. But like I said, Charlotte is, is only slightly younger, and she's a very nice person. And Charlotte wanted me and Suzanne to adopt her as a daughter, so I think we did unofficially. I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but I think she did. But she's really, really nice person, and she treats both of us actually very well. And when we do watch parties with Curtis and Ezra and so on, and Kimmy, it's always fun. We always have a lot of fun. It's like, PvP, if you ever come and try to watch one of our watch parties, it's like MST3K. We just go right at it. I mean, it's almost like the Waltons, except that it's like a film, and we just go, whenever we feel like something is really just stands out, we just go crazy.
If you want to just Facebook me a link to any of those,
yeah, Curtis could do that.
Just Facebook me and send me a link, and I may or may not show up because I don't even know what I'm doing half the time here by myself. So I make no promises to anybody anymore because I've learned that there's no promises in life.
Curtis, We would love to have PvP with us, wouldn't we?
Yes.
More the merrier.
I'm trying to see if
I would have loved to rip the crap out of Airplane 2 last night because fuck, I hated that fucking film. God, it was bad. Like,
oh man,
everybody's giving it a B plus or a B minus or what. I gave it an F. Well, I used the Gorilla Mouth F out of 10, and I'm glad I did. I saw absolutely not. That film did not make me laugh one single time. I'm being honest. Yeah. I was bored. I was thinking, okay, the first film was great. I mean, I loved it the first time I saw it in 80 whatever in the theater. I laughed so hard when I first saw it in the theater that I thought my ribs cracked. I mean, I was in pain right for 2 days after because my cousin and I saw it together and we were family. My cousin and I, we saw it together and we laughed our asses off. So I was seriously in physical pain because Airplane 1 was so good, right? So I was expecting, I don't know, decent writing, good jokes,
maybe slightly better sequel, and that just kind of disappointed.
The thing was, instead of moving on from it, well, other than the space shuttle, that was the only thing that they
I love the space shuttle. Yeah, that. Let you come back.
But when they started replaying scenes from that lady getting smacked in the head or whatever,
yeah,
I was like, okay, you guys don't have enough. You got to pad it out with this. I just didn't find it fun. I just did not find it funny. Bottom line, and even Shatner. I mean, I am the biggest William Shatner guy in the world, right?
Absolutely.
Captain Kirk is the man. Captain Kirk should be the template for masculinity around the world, right? Captain Kirk is so cool and awesome, and he makes Picard look like the pussy that Picard is. I gotta say. I'm just saying, Shatner. I love Shatner, and I just watched it, and it's like, oh, he's in what? And he's in 10 minutes of this, and I was glad he got a paycheck and all that, but
but I mean, he should have been in it more. He should have been in it more than what he was.
I'd rather watch a couple years of T.J. Hooker reruns from that.
Yeah, well, there we go. Right. Just to catch up again, Kimmy says she is a sweetie. Talk about Charlotte. Gorilla says, I still remember during a fundraiser, we got her to turn on her camera a couple times. Then I went and sold the timestamps for $20 towards the fundraiser. Yeah, with anti-derivative jail. Yeah, I remember that, Gorilla. Yeah, that was the first time we'd seen her. Kimmy says, you just go with the flow. Yeah. Gorilla says, that's not my math. That's birds. Oh, yeah, Bird of Prey 5. Rest in peace. Lemon says, Kimmy, I saw you there in chat, but if you got on panel, I must have already left. She says, no, I didn't get on panel. I have been really sick, Lemon. Hopefully you don't have the same flu that me and Suzanne had, Kimmy. It was pretty bad. We were sick for almost 3 weeks.
I gotta say, I've been feeling a bit under the weather today myself, but
yeah,
I'll survive.
And she says, Lemon says, oh, okay. Kimmy says, I am a walking medical marvel.
Well, just try and stay healthy there, Kimmy. Come on.
Yeah, try to. And she says, I Shatner in Boston Legal. Oh, she likes Shatner in Boston Legal.
Oh, that was the show he won the Emmy Award for. I remember.
Yeah, Denny Crane.
I have never seen Boston Legal, and that's something I need. I need to watch that show. I really do.
You know what? I got to say something about James Spader. Okay, now I remember James Spader in Sex Lies and Videotape. Okay. With Andy McDowell, which is not a bad film. It's very good psychological drama. But I never thought I would actually see Spader do a television series. And then when he did it with Shatner in Boston Legal, he was perfect. And I love James Spader. So I've seen him in a lot of things. So to see Shatner and Spader was just, yeah. And that's what Kimmy says. I meant to love that. Yeah.
I hear it's a really, really good show. And was that what? Was it 5 seasons?
Yeah. Wait, I was going to say, PvP.
I need to watch that.
There's another thing that you and I together could do watch parties of Boston Legal.
Hey, if you want to start with the first episode on a weekend or something,
Yeah,
trouble is my calendar is starting to fill up because I've got too many people. I can't run half a dozen ways at once, kind of thing, right? So
yeah, of course.
But if you give me a couple months notice, maybe I can pencil it in.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know, PvP. You're invited too, of course, Curtis. You come and we can do Boston.
Oh, the more the merrier. Like I'm still looking forward to Larry doing the next Avengers because I know he was feeling early.
Yes.
And I love the Avengers so much.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you guys were right in choosing starting with season 4 with Diana Rigg. Miss Dame Diana Rigg. Yeah.
For me, the Avengers is Diana Rigg. I mean,
oh yeah, she's all about that.
Season
Joanna
4,
Lumley from Ab Fab. Yeah.
Well, Joanna Lumley is in the new Avengers in the 70s.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'd seen that and I was like, she's on Ab Fab.
That's the secret. Well, actually, I like Ab Fab though. I think
a
lot
of it is a good BBC series.
I think a lot of it's really funny. Actually, it's really stupid, but it's really funny, right?
Yeah, I just want to get caught up here, guys, real quick. Lemon says,
I'm going to step away anyway. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, sir, go ahead. Yeah, so we'll just catch up with the chat here again one more time. You guys are great in the chat, by the way. We got 3 people still watching, which is all right. That's great. I love that. But the fact that you guys are contributing, that is immensely wonderful, and it touches my heart. I'm putting it in the wrong place here. I'm pointing. Why am I doing that? Anyway, it's the camera. It makes things bigger than they seem. You don't want to know that, though. Lemon says her flu would have a different accent than your flu, Mikey. That's absolutely true. Kimmy is laughing at Lemon. Yeah, it's so good. And Lemon says, I remember James Spader from Age of Ultron. Yeah, he was Ultron. He did the voice of the mechanical, Ultron. Yes, of course. Good performance there, too. Kimmy says, you're in high demand, PvP. And Lemon says, they are talking about me at Larry's. I can sense it. Oh, yes. Sensei, dark side of the Force. Yeah, exactly, Lemon. They are, there's a disturbance in the Force. There's a disturbance in the Force. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, we're going to shut down here in about a couple more minutes. But before we do, I do want to mention, please, if Larry is still streaming, when we go, make sure you say hashtag Mikey Sue's 4 Raid, and also wish him a happy President's Day as well as Canada Family Day to him and everybody there in the chat. So make sure you do that. So, like I said, hashtag Mikey Sue's 4 Raid. That would be perfect. That would be fine. Just do it once. That's all you have to do. Kimmy says, will do. And that's awesome. All right. So, okay. So one last question. I'll ask you first, Curtis, and then I'll ask PvP too. Do you ever regret not, well, you're a dad, right? You are a dad. So
yes.
Yes. So do you regret any of your life? And if not, that's fantastic. But if you do, any part of your life, what would you change as a family member? What would you change in your family if you had a chance? If you had a choice?
I've thought about that question quite a lot. It's hard to say. If I'm going to pick one thing, I'm going to say that I would not have married the woman that I married. I hate to be brutally and cruelly honest, but that's really what I would change, is I would not marry the woman that I ended up marrying.
Yeah.
So.
And here is Larry's. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So here's Larry. Larry B, my friend. That is his live chat there. When you get a chance, like I said, make sure you send the hashtag Mikey Sue's 4 Raid when we get over there here in a couple of minutes after we shut down. So thank you, Sir Lemon, for posting that in the chat. He says, check out Larry's when we finish here. Good idea. And a lot. Yeah, LMAO. Give me. PvP, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I was asking this last question, and then we'll close it up like prom night.
Yeah, I'm going to do a raid over on Larry's channel anyway.
Oh, awesome. Well, I just wanted to ask you real quickly, PvP. You've lived for a very long time. You've seen a lot of things. You've gone through a lot of things with your family. Is there one thing you would change if you had to do it all over again? Is there one thing you would change? That's basically what I asked Curtis.
Yes, there's one night in my life I would very much change.
Okay, and what would that be?
I was in art school finishing up the second year term. And when you finish up the term, they have a big dance party, right?
Right.
So they opened up the biggest gallery. Like, it was huge. Like, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of feet big, like, good party size. And there were probably, like, I don't know, 100, 200 students. We were all partying together. And we were allowed to bring in our own bottle too. We were drinking. We were getting hammered, right? We were having a great time. Like, it was really a dance party. And I was dancing with chicks, and chicks were dancing with me, and I was having great conversations with people. But I got really wasted. I got really wasted. And the great thing was, probably the coolest prof I had, he was concerned, right? He's like, okay, let's go outside, get some fresh air, walk around. And I was no way. I had actually rented a motel because I was still living 30 miles away, in my hometown, right at that time. And I wasn't living in town. So he was like, okay, well, somebody had a car, and they said, we'll drive you over to the motel so you can crash, right? Well, one of the people in the car was a really nice woman, and she was like, I'd really like to. She never showed interest in me before. Maybe it's because I was wasted. I don't freaking know. But she said, I really want to get to know you. Like, and then I got to the motel, and I was near puke drunk. Let's put it that way. I thought I was just going to go into the bathroom and vomit. I was that bad. I was in a bad state. And she says, I'll never forget this. She says to me, can I come in with you tonight? And God help me if I had said yes. We might have had grandchildren by now, right? It was one of those moments.
Maybe.
But I said no, because I was thinking, oh, well, the motel people won't like it if I take a guest in that hasn't paid. And I'm like, I was a complete moron back then, right? And I still think when I look back on this girl, I was like, yeah,
I don't think of you.
Good. She would have had everything I ever needed to make me happy as far as a female, partner. And I was just stupid, and it never happened. It never happened.
Yeah. Well, I don't think of you as moronic at the time. To be honest, PvP, I think it's considered a missed opportunity. And by God, there are moments in my lifetime, like I've told Suzanne before, I wish I had met you first. If I had been when I was in college, I could have finished college, and I could have had Suzanne do a transfer to college, to our college in Arizona there where I was going to ASU. If she had done that, and I had met her for the first time at ASU, she and I we would have had fun. We would have got married. We would have had a few kids. We would have had some fur babies. I mean, we would have had a great moment in life. That just didn't happen right away, right? I mean, I waited 44 years until one day I just, like I said, this coming March 1st, it's going to be 15 years. I told my dad, I said, I want to try this Facebook. I want to try this out. And he says, well, you shouldn't do MySpace. You shouldn't do any of that. Facebook is just like MySpace. You give out too much information. They'll find you to do it. I said, I don't care about all that, Dad. I want to try Facebook. That's all I want to do. And I kept it. This was an argument that lasted for like 2 weeks before I tried Facebook for the first time. And I told him, I said, look, I'm going there and I'm trying it. If it doesn't appeal to me, and I gave myself a time limit, but thank God I never held to it. But I said, if I try this and if it doesn't work out for me, then it's done. then I can erase it. It's over. I don't have to create an account. If I did, I just get rid of it. And there's Cassie. Hi, Cassie.
Well,
you're muted there too, Curtis.
Sorry. The thing is, it's the classic woulda, shoulda, coulda scenario, right?
Exactly.
And exactly. Most of the women I knew in college would have been one night stands. I'm just saying, right? And I remember there was one woman one night. I was drinking at the not really a nightclub, but it was one of those places that was like kind of a bar and restaurant, and they would get bands on the weekends to play live, right? And it was a great place. Like we loved, because it was only like a 5-minute walk from the college, right? So we loved to hang out there, and we'd order jugs and jugs and jugs of beer, right? And it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like 10 sheets to the wind by that point. And I'll never forget one of the hottest girls in art college. We locked eyes, and then we started necking, right? We started kissing the hell out of each other. And I was like, I was so drunk. I was at the point once again where I just had to go home and pass out. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. And I just left. And to this day, I think if I had been more sober with that girl, I could have had world-class sex for the entire night that would have blown my freaking mind. Like, she was hot. I'm saying she was not only hot, she was like goddess level hot, right? And to this day, I kicked, because she never showed interest in me again. I guess she thought I rejected her or some crazy shit, right? Yeah. And oh God.
Well, now
back in my younger days, I was such a moron.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and finish up. I'm going to finish with the chats here.
I better
go ahead and acknowledge everybody.
I'm talking too much about my sexual fantasies.
Oh, well, that's all right. It's okay. Good to see Cassie there. Also, Curtis, brother, thank you so much for showing Cassie your sidekick in arms there. Lemon says to you, PvP, if you had said yes, you may have just gotten sick on her. I don't know if that's true. It depends on the situation. Well, Kimmy says you were being a gentleman. Yeah, I agree.
I think there's two scenarios. Either we would have bedded down, and I would have I was too fucked up to perform anyway.
Okay.
I would have either passed out, or maybe I would have puked all over. Like that was.
Okay,
I think they're almost. But if she had been, I think she was an intelligent woman. I really liked her. She had a brain. She was a cool girl. She probably would have guided me to the bathroom and said, "Okay, take a good puke and get that out." If she'd been good, then I could have barfed my guts out and then laid down with her on the bed, and I think we could have had, chunga, 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 good times.
Oh, chicka wow wow, like we talk about in
yeah, chicka wow wow. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say.
Curtis should check that out. I think we would. Have funny shit, but I mean,
I think we could have started a relationship. Oh yes. God, she's the one woman I regret.
The one that got away.
Once it could have been one night stands and whatnot, but this girl, I honestly think she could have actually been a good partner.
Wow, that's great. That's a great story.
In the past, so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, remember, like it was yesterday. Hey, you got a elephant's memory, we call that.
She's probably living in Norway by now, for all I know, right?
Somewhere. Yeah, but let's finish up, guys, okay? Because I know we want to get to Larry too.
Yeah, I got to finish up.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I can finish it right now if you want me to.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just say it was fun. We didn't talk jack shit about family, but that's the way sometimes these streams go.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about family anyway, because it's mostly really sad, horrible, and depressing. Because I don't know. It's kind of like Curtis, I think, when he said like there's a lot of family shit that isn't that really good. So yeah, there's not much point in talking about most of my family. Most of them are dead anyway. The only family I care about is my cousin Mark and his wife Anita. They are awesomely cool people. and they're both Christians, so they believe in God. But they're the kind of Christians that don't ever talk about it, and they don't shove it down anybody's throat, right? Which is the
And
kind of
Suzanne and I are
Christians
the same. We don't shove it down anybody's throat. We just say we're respectful, and that's how we want others to appreciate us for being is respectful, and
exactly.
we appreciate anybody else that has an opinion, that has a belief which may differ from ours, because we're giving them because we're allowing them to express themselves, and that's all we want. This is a channel that I want people to express themselves, to be free, so that they don't have to feel encumbered and feel like they're being trapped or whatever is happening. That's what we plan on doing for the future, moving on forward here with Mikey Seuss 4. So, we just lost Curtis.
Curtis. Well, I guess Curtis is heading out, and I'm going to head out too, Mikey, soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish up.
Well, let me get you up here. Hold on just a sec. Okay, so I wanted to do this to Curtis before he dropped out, but so PvP, tell us quickly about your channel and the playlist. I mentioned it before that you have some awesome songs there for the playlist.
Oh, I have done Jack on the channel for months now. I'm very sorry, but real life has kind of been kicking my butt, I gotta say, and I'm not really in a good place today. Well, like I mentioned, I lost half a tooth earlier this morning.
Oh yeah, that's very inconvenient. Yeah, very bad.
So I'll survive. Luckily, I'm not having any discomfort or anything. So
yeah,
as long as it doesn't start aching, then I can avoid the dentist. But geez, I would love to get crowns on a couple of teeth, but you know how much a crown costs? It's like $1,500, right?
Yeah, if you're not ready to spend that, I wouldn't even bother. I ain't
that rich, right? So I'm putting it off. Anyway, I don't have much to say about family. Just my cousin Mark and his wife Anita, and she's going through chemo, and I haven't heard in about 2 months from them because I guess, because of the chemo shit, they're probably concentrating on her health. So I don't have a problem with that. And other than that, Mikey, I really got nothing much to add. To be honest,
that's totally fine, brother PvP. I admire you. I think of you as like I said, I think of you as an extended member of our overall family. You're a brother to us. We care about you. We love you.
I think I mean, okay. My blood family is my cousin. That's it.
That's right.
And his wife, she's like a daughter, what do you call her? In-law of some kind.
An in-law, right? And and we consider Mark and his partner, and what was her name again? I'm sorry, damn it, my brain.
It's Anita.
Anita, okay. So Mark and Anita will be in our prayers. Okay, that's a given.
Yeah, please do.
There's no question there.
Please do. The sad thing is Anita never smoked a cigarette in her entire life.
Yeah.
The only time she drank alcohol was like a glass of wine. Like she's not a big drinker either. So when she came down with the lung cancer like 4 months ago, it was like a total shock when my cousin told me that.
Big shock.
Back in November, right? He told me she got diagnosed because she did have a tumor on her spine like 4 years ago, but they were treating it with a pill therapy where she'd take one pill a day. And that kept it in remission for like 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like 4 months ago, she has an X-ray, and I guess she's got the lung cancer, and she never smoked, and so that's when people get lung cancer, I get very scared.
Yeah,
because I know lung cancer.
That's how some of my, believe it or not, that's how some of my grandparents passed away with lung cancer. Yeah.
The thing is, there's some cancers that are like 80% curable, right?
Yeah.
I don't think lung cancer is maybe 40% or 50% or.
I'd say it's more than 50% curable.
But it's still not what you want to hear when you go to the doctor, right?
No, and it takes a lot of drive. It takes a lot of It takes courage to want to give up something that you became addicted to. my youngest sister.
No, but she never smoked. She never smoked.
Well, no, I know. Anita never smoked. But I'm saying my sister, who is a smoker and went to e-smoke and everything like that, she may not make it to 50. I have no idea. I can't judge that, but I know that she never should have got started, and she did. So it's even more difficult for her to stop.
I started smoking at the age of, I think I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't quit until my early 30s. So I smoked like a pack a day for probably 20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I quit because my lungs are not great. I hack and cough. When I get it in the morning, you don't want to hear me hacking and coughing into this thing.
Yeah,
you really don't, because I'm getting a lot of phlegm and congestion out of my lungs. But that said, I don't have the emphysema. I don't have the cancer. My doctor's really good. I've had X-rays on my chest like a year ago. Everything was clear. Like, I'm good that way. I just keep thinking, if I had continued to smoke for the past 30 years, I would have been fucked by now, right?
Yeah, done. Exactly.
Because my favorite aunt, basically, she wasn't really a heavy smoker, but she did pass away from congestion in her chest, right? And remember the last couple of years, I every once in a while I'd meet her. Because she lived close to me, not too many blocks from where I live. And sometimes I'd be walking downtown and I'd meet her walking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
She could walk about 50 feet, Mikey. And then she'd have to stop and get her breath.
Yeah.
Every 50 feet, she'd have to stop.
Emphysema, very bad.
Get her. It was frightening.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, PvP, let's go ahead and wrap it up so we can get to Larry here.
Wrap it up like a guy on prom night, like girl loves to say. And
there you go. You say it better than I do.
I'm going to head out right now then.
Alrighty then. Well, I appreciate you, PvP. Thank you so much, you and Curtis Selby and Miss Moira Kitty, meow meow, for being a part of our panel tonight. We really love you guys. We care for a lot about you. Hope you guys are going to have some good life moments moving on forward, moving on ahead. We always pray for that. So
anyway, have a good thank you, Mikey. Have a good one. I'm bailing.
Okay, sir. Take care of yourself, okay? Alrighty. Well, thank you to the panel. As I said, Curtis Selby, PvP, Moira Kitty. We thank you so much, all three of you, for being a part of the panel tonight. Also, I want to finish the chat here real quick before we go out, have a prayer, and then we'll go. Kimmy says, I was thinking about that same thing to Lemon. Lemon says, you're lucky to have found your mate, even if it was later in life, Mikey. Yes, I feel blessed every day. I say that to Suzanne. Kimmy says, you truly have your soulmate, Mikey. And Lemon says, Cassie, hi. Yeah. Thank you, Curtis Selby, for your showing Cassie also. Doggo, we love Cassie. Yep, Cassie's cool. And Anchorman, Scott says, I have been frustrated, Mikey. I am sorry to hear that, Scott. I wish I knew more of what's going on. I do know some of what you've told me, and I wanted to keep that private. I want to keep it between us. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on, I know, in your life. So do the best you can, buddy. Like I said, pray to God. Ask for prayer. Prayer is a powerful thing. It can do wonders. It really can. Lemon says, that's the sweetest dog on YouTube. Lemon says, because nothing like puking to have a woman want to jump your bones right after. Yeah, I don't think so. Kimmy says, have you ever thought having to look for her? I don't think he ever has, Kimmy. I'm not sure if PvP, of course I can't speak for him, but I don't know if he's ever wanted to, but Sir Lemon says, I'm sorry, PvP, I can't help myself sometimes, but to rib on you. Yeah, well, because you love him, right? He's a good friend, Lemon. I never question what you do with because you always seem to have good intentions, never bad intentions with PvP. So that's wonderful. Yeah, Kimmy says therapy sessions. She says, wishing her all the best and to kick cancer's ass. Amen. And Lemon says, sorry, I got to go. God bless Mikey, PvP, Kimmy, Anchorman, Jeff, Gorilla, Curtis, and anyone else watching. Well, thank you, Sir Lemon. You've been a wonderful supporter, a great managing moderator, and we thank you for being here tonight. Really do appreciate it. Kimmy says, bye, Lemon. Kimmy says, bye, everyone. See you at Larry's. Okay, we'll see you there. And God bless Kimmy. And, of course, so nice to chat with you, Mikey. Kimmy, it's always a pleasure. And, again, I want to thank you so much for the palm reading you gave me. It meant a lot to me, and that was great. And I never had a really good thing like that before, so thank you. That was great. Because, my wife is, she can read minds. She can do all sorts of great things. I'm blessed every single day to wake up to this woman every single day, and it's a wonderful thing. Yeah, you're so welcome, hon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and thank everybody that came into the chat today. First of all, let's thank Gorilla's Censored Thoughts. He has a great channel. Make sure you check him out. He does Waltons on Fridays. He does cigar lounges on Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays. He has a Thursday night watch party thing. Saturdays, he might do some things. I don't know. I think he's kind of cut back because he usually has his kids with him on the weekends. But on Sunday, he does Cinema Sunday, and he's got stuff there. Great watch party. So make sure you check out Gorilla. And who's this guy? Well, it's me. But anyway, I'm glad that everybody came to see us tonight. And, of course, let's thank Kimmy Kim with her wonderful family, including Scarlett. Thank you, Kimmy Kim, for being here. We really appreciate you being a part of the channel and the stream tonight. And, of course, Dadman Walking 55, along with his partner, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. She does some Lego buildings. Dadman Walking, the senior leader of the family there. And they're a great couple. And Dadman does a lot of different topics, SEC, football. He does other things. Really check him out. I mean, go and check out Dadman. And I know he was only briefly here, but check him and his wife out, Mrs. Dadman Walking. And there's another thing for Kimmy. Another thing from Kimmy. Okay, we also had Jeff B. And Jeff B., thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you, sir. Jeff B. has good content. Make sure you check out his channel as well. And, of course, we had the wonderful Sir Lemon Pie. Even though Gorilla loves to call him Scurvy, I'm really not. That doesn't make me very comfortable when I do that. So I like to say Sir Lemon Pie because he deserves it. And he, along with Miss Connie Cleary, our bird woman of YouTube, are both fantastic managing moderators. And of course, my wife is number one. She's their boss. She is the boss. And then you're a boss woman, baby. Yeah. Oh, well, I always think you are. And we've got Kimmy on here a lot. Very cool. There we go. So we want to thank all of them. And of course, Curtis Selby, PvP, and of course, Miss Moira Kitty for being a part of the panel tonight. And Anchorman for being here as well. Thank you, Anchorman, also for being here tonight. We appreciate you. He has good channel work there, too. He does some pop culture. He does some reviews. Make sure you check out Anchorman's channel. All right, so when we go to Larry's, as I said, make sure we do hashtag MikeySues4 raid if he is still online. Also, don't forget, for this week, we've got an episode tomorrow of TOS that we're reviewing at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the Corbomite maneuver, which featured Clint Howard as the alien, Balak, or Balak. And then, of course, the puppet, who is voiced by none other than Ted Cassidy. So, yeah, good stuff tomorrow. Also, of course, Wednesdays, don't forget, we're still doing Season 3 of The Greatest American Hero. And on Thursdays, Season 3 of the A-Team. So make sure you check those days out. Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, straight up. And you guys will get a lot of great information from these shows. We plan mystery shows. That's something we're going to do later in the summer. We also plan on this year just doing specialty live streams just like this for holidays. I figured a Canadian family holiday was appropriate to do something here. But on March 1st is our big day. Suzanne and I first met online on computer in Facebook in an app, a game app we were playing called Farmville. Yoville. Sorry, honey. Yoville. 15 years ago, this coming March 1st. We are going to have a special live stream. That I believe I'm going to set for later. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. And I'll see if we're running into anybody else's streams here in our family community. Hopefully not. But that is what I plan on doing for March 1st is at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when we're going to run that. So, alrighty. So let's go ahead and clear out all my, oops. Just trying to go through everything here. Here we go. And, yeah, Kimmy says, I know. I can feel the pure love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that, Kimmy. Okay, so let's do a quick prayer. So in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for social media. Thank you so much, Lord, for bringing all together these wonderful people in the chat, as well as all the panelists we had this evening. And of course, I thank you, Lord, every single day for my beautiful wife, Suzanne, along with our wonderful kitty cats, Moon Pie and Deja Vu, our fur babies and daughters that we love so, so much unconditionally. We thank them for everything. And of course, Lord, please send out your guiding light and healing for those people who just recently had that airplane accident. Let's hope that they're not emotionally scarred. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but we want to make sure their emotional scars are taken away and hope that their families can help with that. And of course, the Lord, we ask for his help. We ask him to pray for us. We ask for Jesus Christ, our Savior, to pray for us, our Blessed Virgin Mary to pray for us, and of course, the Holy Spirit, as well as Saint Suzanne and Saint Michael the Archangel, defender of heaven. We ask for all of them to pray for us. And in God's name, we ask for all of this, as well as taking care of all of our family members everywhere we know. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So there we go with everybody. Still, we'll head on over to Larry's. Hopefully he's still going on. I do. Thank you, Kimmy. Amen. Thank you so much, sweetie. Appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Okay. So anyway, don't forget, we got all this stuff going on. Make sure you check out. Now, remember also, I'll remind everyone one more time, we are at 240 subscribers. When we reach 250, we will do a special live stream. It'll be very unexpected. So make sure that you keep track. And if you know friends of yours that haven't subscribed to our channel yet, why not? Tell them, hey, subscribe. You'll get a special acknowledgement when we reach 250. Everything's going to turn out well. So make sure you do that. Tell your friends and family and acquaintances, hey, Mikey Seuss Ford just needs 10 more for 250. He's not big into monetization. He doesn't really care about that crap. I just want to be able to say that I can always admire and appreciate all of the subscribers that we consider as family members extended, not just as a community. So that is how we always feel about people like that. So, of course, in the immortal words of Mr. Gene Siskel, rest in peace. And why the fat man Roger Ebert is still alive, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Gene Siskel said, the aisle is now closed. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. God bless everybody in the chat. We still have one person watching. That's totally cool. So God bless everybody in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Remember, as always, oh, thank you, beautiful wife of mine. As always, dinner. As always, God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless the whole freaking world. And of course, God bless you all here in the chat today and on the panel. And of course, peace from Mikey Seuss 4. So we will see you folks tomorrow at 1 p.m. For TOS, our review of the Corbomite maneuver, which is from season 1, episode 10. Should be a lot of fun. And of course, our next big live stream, March 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will celebrate the 15 years that Suzanne and I have been a couple. And so with that, we hope you all check us out. And we love you guys. And so good night to you and Susie. Thank you, sweetheart. Larry has finished. Okay. All right. Well, I'll go watch his channel. I'll see what he was up to. But anyway, thank you, everyone. And, well, remember 3 things. Larry always says, always be yourself. My beautiful wife says, leave everything in God's hands. And I say, always expect the unexpected, everybody. And God bless. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. And thank you again.